Hi Sagittarius, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of October. This is a really intense time because we've been dealing with Mars retrograde since the beginning of September. Mars retrograded on September 9th at 28 degrees of the cardinal fire sign of Aries, and it stations direct on November 13th at 15 degrees of Aries. And Mars only retrogrades once every 2 years. And it's a personal planet that is how we get things done. It represents our passion. It represents our courage. And when it retrogrades, it can feel very challenging and frustrating to get things done. It rules the sign of Aries, and it hasn't retrograded in Aries since 1988, and before that in 1941. So it doesn't happen very frequently, and because we all have been dealing with this Capricorn year of lockdown and restructuring and rebuilding, it makes it more tense and challenging for all of us. So it's going to be a heated month, and you want to find your tools and ways of dealing with this and getting the most, because this Capricorn tale for all of us of committing to what's working and structuring your goals. Saturn and Jupiter exit Capricorn at the end of December, or middle end of December. So it's not much longer. So although it's been really tough, you want to commit to what you've been building or what you do need to rebuild. And with Mars retrograde, people are much more irascible, knowing that for all of us, more easily triggered. And for you, Mars is retrograding in your house of creativity and love affairs and self-expression and children, your inner child, and sports. And it's a good time to reconnect and to return to your creativity. What makes you happy? What gives you joy in such a difficult time? Because again, existentially, a year like this makes you think about little things and big things that matter to you. And so finding ways to be creative, to find joy in limitations, I think is a big deal. And you may find that people from your past, whether it's old lovers or people, maybe you're returning to creative projects, maybe you used to play music in high school and you haven't done it in a long time and you're picking up a creative hobby. Something like that would be a good use of this, especially to find some happiness in such a tough time. And Aries is a fellow fire sign, so it is one you're very compatible with. We begin the month with a full moon in Aries, of course, so to pronounce this Mars tale. And it occurs at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 9 degrees of Aries, and it's conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer. So this helps to bring healing energy, and again around romance and creativity, and really the universe is urging you to open your heart chakra in a tough time, And on the 2nd of October, we have Venus exiting the sign of Leo and entering the sign of Virgo, which is your house of career. And it'll be transiting there until October 27th. And that's really good for partnering with other people, for negotiations, for appearing in public in some ways. So that's a nice transit for professional matters. On the 4th of October, things get a lot more intense for all of us because Pluto, which has been one of the main players of the year. Saturn and Pluto met up at the world axis at 22 degrees of the cardinal Earth sign of Capricorn on January 12th in your house of income and how you earn money and what you value and your possessions, and this historical tale that we've all been dealing with. And Pluto is going to trigger off that conjunction that changed the world and changed the decade. And that's going to be very intense because Pluto deals with death, it deals with joint resources, it deals with other people's money, and it deals with power struggles. So you can expect big news stories on the world stage, in your own life. And again, the whole Capricorn tale of restructuring is in your house of income and value. So maybe you're getting some wake-up calls on what you need to do financially, or something to that effect, And on the 8th of October. Pardon me, transiting Mars enters 22 degrees of Aries. So it also triggers that Saturn-Pluto conjunction and sets it off, brings more aggression, a lot of combative energy. That's very belligerent energy, Mars square Pluto. Pluto is actually the higher octave of Mars, and so that can be extremely challenging. You want to lay low, be creative, do things to get things accomplished. And again, if you're athletic in any way, Mars retrograde is a great time this fall to return to sports and to, working out and things like that. I wouldn't necessarily choose that day with Mars squaring Pluto, because that could be a bit tough. But in general, that's a very good use of the energy. And we have on, let's see, on the 10th of October, Venus in Virgo forms a beautiful trine to Uranus in Taurus, and that could be good for work opportunities for you. That could be unexpected financial gains. Venus is transiting in your house of career, and Uranus is transiting in your house of work and daily routines. And it has been on and off since May 15th of 2018. So that could be positive for professional dealings. On October 11th, the sun in Libra forms a square to Jupiter in your house of money and income. And you may find at that time that just a lot going on, excess, being very busy, but not a bad energy. On the 12th of October, we have a really nice energy. Jupiter, which is the ruler of your sign, forms what's known as a sextile, an aspect of opportunity, to Neptune, which represents the dream. And that's a really good manifesting energy. It's excellent for creativity and for manifesting, and also for empathy and compassion. And Jupiter's transiting in your house of money and income, and it's forming this nice aspect of opportunity. It's a 60-degree angle to Neptune in your house of home and family. Really nice also for fixing up your house and finding comfort, doing manifesting work at home, getting some crystals, but nice energy. And then on the, let's see, the 13th of October, Mercury retrogrades in Scorpio, and it's going to mirror what happened in the fall of 2018, because Mercury is going to retrograde at 11 degrees of Scorpio. That's in your 12th house of the subconscious mind and dreams and people and memories from the distant past. And then it stations direct on November 3rd at 25 degrees of Libra in your house of friends and groups. And so probably that energy combined with Mars retrograde, people from the past will resurface old distant memories. You might have some very deep or prophetic dreams with that energy. And Mercury is definitely replicating what happened in the fall of 18, because at that time, Venus retrograded at 10 degrees and 50 minutes of Scorpio on October 5th and stationed direct at 25 degrees of Libra on November 17th. So certain themes you were dealing with in terms of money or relationships that might get brought up by this Mercury retrograde. And a lot of things from your subconscious mind might get brought up to do some healing work. Very good for doing that. And maybe there's miscommunication with friends. Maybe you hear from old friends you haven't heard from in a while. And we have on the 16th of October a new moon in Libra that occurs at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it falls at 23 degrees of Libra, and it's in your house of friends and groups and networking, and it's a very social placement of the moon, especially in your house of socializing. And the new moon is definitely a time of setting intentions and planting new seeds. It's always a time of new beginnings. This new moon's a bit contentious because it does form an opposition to Mars in Aries and to Eris, the goddess of discord. She's the warrior feminine and the sister of Mars. And so this new moon is opposing Mars and Eris, and they're all squaring Pluto, the planet of power and transformation. So there could be some big endings or power struggles in this new moon, but hopefully it impels you to act even more with courage to get what you want and have some fun and romance, and maybe there's a love triangle, I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting new moon. So we've got that, and then on the 18th of October, the sun in Libra in your house of friends and groups forms a square to Saturn, and that could be a bit disappointing or challenging. And then Venus forms an opposition to Neptune, Venus in your house of career. So that's not the best day for targeting for business dealings or partnering with others. And on the 22nd of October, the sun exits Libra and enters the sign of Scorpio, where it'll be until November 21st. And it's going to be in your house of the subconscious mind and imagination. So again, a lot around dreams and manifesting work, which is an excellent thing for all of us to be dealing and doing right now, not dealing, doing. And then on the 31st of October, we have a full moon that occurs at 10:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 8 degrees of Taurus, and it's conjunct Uranus, the planet of upheaval and surprise, and that falls in your house of work and daily routine. So it could bring completion to a work project. Maybe there's some surprise with it, but it could also be fruition to something you've been working on. So I wish you a lot of luck. Tap into your creativity. It's going to be an intense month, a lot of fire, a lot of frustration too. So, work out, have fun as much as you're able, and also really figure out what you value and how you can be most productive with that. All right, take care, Sag. Thanks.